This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Jeep Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the DRIPMEDIA podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Jeep, and with me is host DRIPMEDIA Gaming. We record this podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you download podcasts. You can also watch our podcast live on youtube.com/DRIPMedia. You can also become a member of this podcast, get extra content every single month. April's show is happening tomorrow night as of the recording of this podcast. That'll be May 2nd. Sorry for the little delay. That was sickies. We're going to be talking about, actually not talking, we're going to be showing you guys some old cringy stuff of me and Drip.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that
as well. So that's going to be a big one. We also have a new review, which I completely forgot about until right this second. And I'm going to
Well, while you pull that up, I can talk about what we're going to do with those reviews. We need reviews on Apple for our podcast. So if you go leave a review over there, 5-star review, you can say whatever you want. You can literally say whatever you want. Make it a 5-star review. You are going to enter to win a $50 eShop gift card. And I don't know exactly when the cutoff's going to be for the first one, but it's probably going to happen within the next 2 weeks. So get it in now. We did get one new one from last week, and I forgot to actually, I forgot to put it up in the Discord and stuff that we're actually doing the giveaway thing. So not a lot of people know now. Not yet. So
yeah. Well, and right now
there's good to get one.
There's only one submission as of official submissions for reviews to win this gift card, and that is from a user ATC729. Thank you for your review. It's 5 stars, and here's what it says. More than just Nintendo. I love listening to Drip and Jeeb. They talk about so much more than just Nintendo, even though that is how I found them at first. The banter is like hanging out with friends, and I often find myself trying to talk to them in my car. Laugh emoji. That is actually wonderful. That makes me smile.
That's great.
The fact
That's
that you're
a really good review. I don't know
trying to talk to us in the
that?
car. ATC. Thank you so much, ATC. 729.
That's a great review. It's wonderful.
That is like one of the better reviews we could get. Honestly, that's perfect. You know, that's what we try to do here. We try to make sure that the conversation is more like we're buds hanging out, drinking a beer, because that's how Drip and I are. We're just buds hanging out, drinking beers. Although I'm not drinking beer right now. I'm still sicky, which you guys can probably hear, which I apologize. Sorry for the nasals. But yeah, we'll get through it. And Drip, how are you doing, man?
I'm great. I've had a very busy day. A very, very, very busy day. I'm glad we're finally here to this where I can actually sit and not worry about 100 other things.
Yeah.
Focus in on this. Some of it has actually been getting ready for this. I did become an expert in electromagnetics today.
Oh, good.
So all the questions we're going to have, about the Joy-Cons and how they're magnetic, I'm going to have all those answers. So that's been the last couple hours of my day. You've been sick. You're feeling better now, though.
I am feeling a little bit better. And by the way, PowerMed, I don't see a review. I'm not sure what's going on. I see that it was given 5 stars, but there's no words to it, so I don't know what's going on with that. And also, quickly, Priscilla, thank you for being a member of the show. Got a new member tonight. Appreciate you. So if you guys want to become a member, the links are down below. You can become a member. What did you ask me?
You're sick. You're feeling better now, though, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling better. I think I'm hearing double voice. What have you done?
Double what?
I'm hearing my voice double. There we go. No, I'm not. That was weird.
I didn't do anything.
Sure, Jan.
I didn't do it. It's fine.
Sure. Yeah, I'm feeling a little sick. Sorry, guys. I'm feeling a little sick, but hopefully I'm feeling better as far as like my body and my mind. My voice and mucus is still kind of happening. Still kind of bad. Excuse me, speaking of which. But so I'll be coughing a little bit. I apologize. It's not much I can do about that. But we'll do our best here to get through it. And yeah, speaking of doing our best to get through it, this little nugget of news that we got this week, actually it was kind of last week, wasn't it?
It was last week.
Yeah,
it was last
week.
Friday or Thursday, right?
Yeah, late last week. We got a little nugget of news that helps us get through the days, Drip, because...
Yeah, you messaged me and I was like, he's lying.
Yeah.
That's not real. There's no way that's real. I watched what you sent me. I said, "Holy shit!"
Let me shout out the 128 KB podcast. If you guys have not listened to the show before, those two dudes do an excellent job.
They do.
But I want to shout them out because they on his
we need
YouTube
to get
channel,
them on this show.
Oh, I would. That would be awesome. That'd be so awesome. If you guys want to tweet at them and get them on, see if they respond. Hell yeah. Tell the 128 KB guys. Tell them to come on the show.
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
I want to do a video. with that guy anyway.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I do the same exact stuff. We need to do a video together.
Truth be told, I edit your videos. I watch his videos more than I watch yours.
Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true.
It's not.
That can't be true.
Like,
you watch mine for hours at a time, literally.
Literally true. Literally not true. Yeah, you're right. But I do very much enjoy his content otherwise.
I do too. It's good.
And so I was casually watching his channel as I usually do. He posted a video, and lo and behold, it was like Switch 2 stuff. So I'm like, okay. You know, as you guys have seen, Drip and I have not covered a ton of Switch 2 stuff in the past few months because a lot of it has been dog shit, bullshit, garbage, not real. And we did enough of that, you know. I don't want to say clickbait, but we've done enough of that, like, kind of rumors.
There's nothing new. There's nothing new to talk about. We're literally beating a dead horse. We say the same things. We're like, well, when's it going to come out? I don't know. When do you think? Might come out this time. Might come out that time. What do you think it's going to have?
So we've largely avoided the Switch 2 stuff for a while because there's nothing new to talk about. People are just kind of recycling information and just straight up lies that just don't make any sense. So we have avoided it until today. Drip, play the clip.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm.
Oh, I was already ready. You didn't have to tell me.
Everyone stay calm. Stay calm.
I'm not calm.
Now,
I'm not calm.
We have to say, of course, legally, our lawyers will be very upset with us, that this is obviously still not confirmed information. So there's no reason to take this for reality until it actually happens. But this is probably the most, if not, this is the most concrete evidence that we have gotten yet. Barring we see a picture of the thing leak out, this is the next closest thing you can get. Because Mobapad, if you guys don't know, is who leaked this out. Mobapad, Drip, you talk about it. You have done videos on their products recently. They're a legitimate Nintendo Switch accessory company.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not only are they a legitimate Nintendo Switch accessory company, I mean, I would say they probably make the best set of third-party Joy-Cons for the Switch. I mean, the Pro Controller they make is pretty damn good too. I mean, you know, it depends. People don't like the clicky buttons. I do. It's got like all the features of the Pro Controller plus more, and it's like $50, and it's really, really nice. They make really great stuff. They really do.
Important to note, not officially licensed stuff, so it's not not like they're working with Nintendo like Power A would be. But they make good.
God,
it's not garbage.
Put Power A shit to shame, dude. To shame, and it's like the same price.
Yeah, it's good stuff. They make good stuff. It's not quite of the quality level, like you said, of some of the other stuff. Well, that's not. Well, it's not. It's not licensed. It's not licensed.
Really is. It's not licensed.
It's not licensed. So there is risk involved buying from them. But more importantly, in the context of this conversation, they're not licensed, so they're not necessarily working with Nintendo. If Power A would have done this, that would have been even more wild because it's like, dude, you just ruined your opportunity to work with Nintendo if you just leaked out information. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll get into all that
part of it later.
We'll get to all of that later, of course. But what we're going to start with is all of the, you know, the Mobapad is a website, and they posted their stuff up to their website, and we have just pulled down all the information. So we're going to first talk about all of what they talked about, what they have apparently firsthand seen or felt with this stuff. And then after we're done talking about that stuff, we will then talk about Mobapad and more about them in a minute. But Drip, the first thing.
Wait, actually, before you jump into that, I want to add this in too, because this is very interesting. Where it's on their website now.
Yes, currently. Yeah.
That's not where it was posted last week.
Yeah.
Where was it posted? Twitter?
Facebook.
It was on their. They posted it on their fucking Facebook. That's where the 128 guys found it, and they started talking about it, and then they took it down from their Facebook, and then decided, okay, you know what, we're gonna take it down from the Facebook. We're gonna put it on our official website, make a whole page about it, so everybody can come see it. A nice little blog post, like the balls.
Yeah,
it's crazy. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Massive cojones on that Mobapad right now.
That's nuts.
So let's just get to the first thing here. The first thing that they have up here is something not too crazy. Support for existing Joy-Con, and it's still supporting HD Rumble. So all what they're saying there is HD Rumble on the next console, and the old Joy-Con will work with the new system. Well, yes. And go ahead, Joe.
I'm guessing like this though. Not on it. It will not connect to it. It's not going to connect to the side of the Switch. It's just going to be compatible.
There's information in this article that we'll get to probably in a quick second that kind of suggests that drip. It kind of suggests that it won't attach like normal, and we'll get to that in a second.
I don't think it will, honestly.
I don't see why it couldn't do both.
Well, because
I really don't.
We'll come back to it because of everything else we're going to talk about. That's why I think. But I mean, yeah, HD Rumble. Why would you change that? You know what I mean? Like, of course they're going to bring that back. There's nothing wrong with it. Like it's the first time they've used it. So it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like something they really need to innovate on. This is the first time that it's been in any control. I mean, HD Rumble was before the haptic feedbacks in the DualSense controller.
Right.
I mean, they're fine with that. They don't need to do anything else with that. Honestly, I mean, where else can you even go?
Just improve it. Make it a better experience.
It's pretty damn good.
It is good.
It's pretty damn good. I mean, it sings. They've got Rumble that sings, literally sings out loud to you sometimes.
I agree. The first party stuff is not, or is incredible, but the third party implementation of HD Rumble, as far as like the games are concerned, the video games, the games that don't support it and just use basic Rumble and using the HD Rumble motors, I don't think that is too great. So if they can somehow, for the companies that are making the games that don't support HD Rumble, if they can make that Rumble experience better, because I feel like some of the games, it's either on or off 100%, right? And for regular Rumble, that might work okay. But for HD Rumble, it is too much, man. It's like holding your phone that's somebody's calling you and you're getting a phone call, but like it will not stop. It's just
I noticed my kids like
I do not like that. I turn the Rumble off in those games, and unfortunately, that stinks because I like the HD Rumble.
Yeah, like when my 8-year-old's playing her, she's got an OLED, but if she's sitting on the table and she's like resting it on the table playing Fortnite, it's just like there's no nuance to it whatsoever. So
if they can improve it I'm not sure what they can do.
Well, I don't even think that's on them though. Really,
no,
I think that's third-party companies that need to just start implementing it into their. I mean, because it's not like Nintendo's not the only one using this anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess for what I'm saying is more or less is the next generation. Nintendo's going to optimize the HD Rumble, make it better for how it works on their end, how it works on the hardware level, and for their games, of course, just implement it more in their games and better. But also another generation of HD Rumble, so that way third-party game developers start to implement the HD Rumble because here's another generation of it. We might as well take advantage of it, make our games make use of it. It's pretty damn cool when they use it right. Take a look no farther than Mario Wonder. What an amazing implementation. And not only does it feel great, but the singing thing, listen, that is a level of cool that is so cool to me.
There's another
I will
one that
fangirl.
sings.
I'll fangirl all over that all day long.
I'm pretty sure it's
that is
a
the
Kirby
coolest
game.
thing.
Is it a Kirby game? When you beat the game, there's like a song at the.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It is. I can't remember what it is. If anybody knows, let me know. I don't remember. All right. I mean, it's HD Rumble. We've already got it. It's going to be there again. Wonderful. What's the next thing?
The next thing, this is paraphrasing, of course, guys. I'll show you the article in a second to those of you watching. There's still, so they say number two thing that Mobapad is saying that this next console has because they've seen it. Still a cartridge slot. It will support backwards compatibility, and of course, that means the OG cartridges, the OG Switch cartridges will work in the Switch 2, but not vice versa.
Right. Yeah, and we'll touch on that in a second, but yeah. So it says you're going to be able to play your physical and digital games on this thing, backwards compatible. So your entire Switch library is going to go over, which we assumed was probably going to be the case, and we actually talked about this several times about the cartridge slot and how it would probably be kind of like the DS to the 3DS.
Right.
Like you can put DS games in the 3DS, but the 3DS games won't fit in the two. They have a little like nub on them or something. It's like an extra little slot. So you try to put them in, it just won't go in. I'm sure it's going to be the same type of thing, which we've talked about it. Lots of other people have talked about it. That's not a huge surprise, but if this is true, that's very good to hear that we're going to be able to do that. Because, I mean, that was a little bit of a concern, backwards compatibility. We don't have to worry about that now. But, okay, let me ask you this, because I've heard this. I think those guys over at the 128 podcast there were talking about if it was two different card slots, like kind of like the DS had something for advanced games on the bottom, and then they had the slot for that. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think it's simply just going to be the games are a slightly different shape, so they won't go in the old system. What do you think about that?
I think the plastic is just going to be slightly different on the cartridge.
Yeah.
There's no way there's 2 slots in this thing.
Yeah, I think that's a little too much.
Number one, it's a lot more money to add. Number two, there's extra. You're using up extra precious real estate inside the console that you could be using for
clearly going to need
something
now,
else. But I think that's a bit of a silly take. I don't think 2 cartridge slots is ever going to happen. When is it? Okay, I almost said it because they have done it. But when has Nintendo ever done? But that's different though, because in that day it was taking a big cartridge and shrinking it down, and that's the new thing. Because they had to, because those cartridges were way bigger back then. We're talking about like Game Boy stuff. Think about that. The Game Boy cartridge was so much bigger than a DS cartridge. So obviously, there's no finagling you're going to be able to do to make that big slot support both. So it made sense. In this case, the cartridges they've perfected. We talked about this in the past of the podcast. Nintendo's they have perfected the cartridges. I think they're perfect. There's no need to change it at all.
Until you put them
other
in your
than
mouth.
the fact that they will make it a nub or a notch somewhere, so it doesn't work with backwards compatibility. But besides that, it's
as far as
the
shape,
size,
they're gonna be
dimension. It's gonna be identical. There's no reason.
Whatever's inside is probably going to be different. I mean, clearly it's a different type of storage. I would imagine if they're putting out these bigger, higher resolution games with a lot more. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a different type of storage, but I'm sure the shape will stay generally the same. But like I said, keep them out of your mouth. They're great, except for that.
They're disgusting. Don't ever do that.
Holy shit. That was the craziest experience of my life.
I mean, like, just a little lick, just a quick lick, just like is bad enough.
Bad.
I can't imagine putting that in your mouth. That would be horrendous. Don't do that.
Oh, it's real bad. Don't do it.
Okay, so the next thing, paraphrasing, there's new HD Rumble, of course, as I said, has larger volume. So that's right. That's not HD Rumble. We talked about this in the pre-show. Sorry, Drip.
Yeah. The Joy-Cons are bigger.
The Joy-Cons are bigger. Larger volume, as in there's volume in space.
So instead of being, for those of you watching, instead of being like this, we're talking, something maybe like this. Probably not going to be that big. I don't know if it's actually in any of these, but they said the Switch itself is bigger. Not as big as a Steam Deck, but bigger than the current Switch.
And the screen size reflects that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah,
as well.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Listen, the size of the Switch as is very small. It's a small device.
Well, especially compared to all the other handhelds that have come out after it.
Yes.
I mean, it's tiny. So it's not like they have to keep it that small. It's fine. Like, we've clearly seen, this isn't like, it's not like a PSP or something like that you can actually put in your pocket. Like, we know that's not what this is. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it's fine. They can go bigger. The Steam Deck's way bigger. It's still fine. All these other ones, the ROG Ally, they're all bigger. It's fine. So I don't have a problem with that, and we'll talk about a little bit more of that too. But I mean, the Joy-Cons being bigger. How do you feel about that?
I think that's great. And now,
it's wonderful. But are they going to be flat? Are they still going to be flat?
Hopefully bigger as in bulbous, right? But I will take just bigger in general. It doesn't matter to me. I'm one of these guys who doesn't care and doesn't want Nintendo, the Joy-Cons that come with the Switch. I don't want them to be big fat Joy-Cons. And here's why. I love the fact that the Steam Deck, it has bigger grips and it's very comfortable. However, there's no opportunity then to put in a third-party grip that feels better, the way that I want it to feel. And the options like Skull and Stone Satisfy have for the Switch, you have the choice of like Skull and Stone's difference, changing out different sizes, and Satisfy, you have the overall quality and the rubber backing that makes it feel nice.
Yeah, you know what?
You're losing out on all that stuff if you just make it a weird shape that the companies are not going to make their own grips for. They're just going to have stuff molded to the shape that's already there. They're not going to make their own shapes. So that's why I actually think they should keep the flat Joy-Cons. Number one, it's streamlined and slim and cool looking. And number two, you leave the option for all the third-party stuff.
Yeah. I as soon as you started talking about that, I actually agree. I hate that I agree, but I do, because there's another thing that you didn't bring up. That's a great point. I love that. You're probably right. Because I mean, God, that's going to take away from my job if they start just making these things comfortable.
No, there'll still be accessories for you, but
yeah, I know.
They're gonna be less interesting if there's a blank canvas. Nintendo's giving these third parties a blank canvas to work with. And
no, I like that idea. Another thing I didn't even think about till just now is if they're not flat, that's going to affect the kickstand in the back too.
That's right.
That's a feature of the Switch that
we really need to keep the kickstand.
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of that. There's no way. Well, you can't. It takes away a way to switch. Are we going to have a Switch 2 that has one less way to switch? No way.
No.
They're not getting rid of that.
No.
So there's more there, and this is what I want to talk about. This is the thing. Like I said, I became an expert on electromagnetic things about an hour ago. So there's no rails. There's no rails on the new Switch, supposedly, and the Joy-Cons are going to be connected by electromagnetic suction technology.
Yes.
Which is very interesting. And the SL and SR buttons, which if you're watching, if you take the Joy-Con off, these two buttons here, that's those buttons. So that would be the button that would be, inside by the Switch. Those are going to be metal. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about this stuff and issues with electromagnetics inside of an electronic device with a screen and all kinds of other stuff going on in there. But luckily, Jeeb, I'm an expert on this, so I can tell you all about it. Do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to know about? Are you concerned about anything with these electromagnetics being close to the screen?
No, but let me say this. I know it's not going to, I don't know how they get around it, but I do know that for literally decades now, they have been putting magnetic folding cases on screens for decades now. Since go back to the early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s.
Electromagnets are a little bit different than just regular magnets, though.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's an electric current actually going through this.
All right.
So a basic.
Oh,
yeah. This is actually an electric current that powers the magnet, and you can actually make the magnet more or less powerful depending on how much power you put to it.
Really?
So this is a
lot more interesting than I first realized.
Trust me, I went fucking deep. I got you. Okay. So a basic electromagnet is like, let's say you have a screw and then you wrap a copper wire around that screw. Okay. Let's say you go around 10 times. Okay. And then you connect it to a battery. That screw is now going to have magnetic properties. Okay.
All right.
So if you wrap it, let's say 10 more times, that screw is going to have even more magnetic power. Let's say 10 more times. You're going to have more. You're drawing more power, but you're getting more power. And it's actually crazy because then you can like flip the wires. And instead of being like, I don't know, like a north magnet, it'll be a south magnet. It changes the polarity.
Okay.
So it's very interesting stuff. Now, okay, so things like
we're getting Dr. Drips in the chat. You're now you have a PhD in electromagnetic science.
This is what I do. Okay, simple electromagnet, something you could look at like a drill, like a brushless motor in a drill. Okay, so right there you can see what kind of power these things can push. I mean, a drill. Especially some of the higher powered drills. There's a lot of power in those. What else? Okay, this is interesting. This is very interesting, and I'm going to save that because I want to talk about that in just a second. I'll tell you this too. A lot of people are worried about the strength of just the magnets holding on the Joy-Con. Like maybe there's like a rail system, and then it like pops in, and the magnet holds it instead of like the button. But that's not what this is. I can tell you what they're doing here because I looked into this. The coil thing, that's one way of doing electromagnetic forces like that, but you can do it another way. Inside hard drives, okay? The way that hard drives read and write is through electromagnets. Did you know that?
No. Well, actually, I think I knew somehow there were magnets involved, to be honest, but I did.
Okay, so that's how it reads
I did
and
not
writes.
know. I did not know anything
But it's not
I didn't
a coil.
even really understand electromagnetics until you start talking about it. So,
Okay, but it's not a coil, right? So it's a thin film that they've developed. It's a thin film instead of a coil.
okay.
Something that's flat. Obviously, you're talking about something in a hard drive. It's got to sit by a disk and grab information off and put
Right.
information on.
Right.
So it's this thin, it's like a strip, like a film. My guess is that's how they're doing this. My guess is there's going to be.
So if you guys are old, like Drip and I, you know what a floppy disk is.
Yeah.
I actually, inside a floppy disk is a film that stores the information. My guess is floppy disks have similar genetic makeup, if you will, as like a hard drive. Because if you guys have ever had to destroy floppy disks, I had to do that at one of my old jobs. They asked me to destroy a bunch of floppy disks. When you're destroying the floppy disk, inside of this floppy disk is like this film, like it's kind of like what you're describing.
Yeah.
In a hard drive.
I don't know if it's the same. I'm not sure if it's the same thing.
I'm not sure either. Someone smarter than me will tell us.
But my guess is that's why the SL and SR buttons are metal. Okay. My guess is to get this thing to sit on the side, they probably, instead of being, kind of sunk into the
right.
The rail where they are now, my guess is they stick out. And my guess is on the side of this switch, there's probably going to be two little indents where those buttons sit right in, and the electromagnets are inside those holes. So it's not going to be able to move up and down or sideways, and that's where it's going to go. It's going to go every single time into the place it needs to go because of those buttons guiding it into where it needs to go because they're metal.
Let's talk about this for a second. Let's
hold
talk
on.
about. Okay.
We can go. Let me finish this real quick.
All right.
So then, as I said, I think they're going to have something like that film because I don't think a coil works in there.
Okay.
Now there's a few other things we got to talk about really fast, and that's like the dangers of having the magnets around whatever screens, the internals of the switch. The screen's not a problem. All that stuff about the screens, that's like CRT TVs. That's what affects that.
If you were again, if you're old like us, you had CRTs as a kid. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a time where I did it.
Oh, I fucking did it. Yep,
come on, man. It's you tell you not to do it. What do you think you're gonna do?
Yeah, I'm like bonk, and then I see that big green blob go to the top of my screen. I was like, oh shit. Well, that
I didn't. So
that worked. Oh,
I didn't break the TV, but I definitely experimented with it, and I did it, and you see something happens with the CRT. But
it does. Well, then in a lot of later monitors. Before we started getting flat panels and stuff, they actually had things that would scramble the signal. So if something like that happened, it would, on a refresh, when you turn it off and on, it would scramble the signal and fix it, which is wild. I just learned that today, too.
Wow.
But there are some instances where magnets can affect the internals or something like that. And it's the transformers inside for the way that they interact. It can make it think it's doing something it's not. Yeah. And sometimes it can do that. But the way you fix that and the problem with anything else is really simple. It's just shielding. You just put
hold on, Drip.
over
So sometimes sometimes the Autobot's trying to save the world inside your Switch.
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
What was the enemies called? Crap, I forget the enemies called.
The Decepticons.
Sometimes the Decepticons, if you bring a magnet, it's like a Decepticon, and they insert into the Switch. And Optimus Prime is like, hold on a second.
That's exactly what happened.
We got to save the day, man. Autobots assemble. And then
Autobots roll out. Okay, listen.
Sorry. Keep going.
I'll finish this. It's easy
All
to
these
fix that.
old people reference. Look at us, Drip, making old people jokes.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're not old. It's fine. So shielding will fix most of that. And I'm sure if Nintendo's done this, they've put in the R&D to make sure this is going to be fine. So I'm really not worried about that. The last thing I do want to talk about is strength. And as I said earlier, you can make these things as strong or as weak as you want, just basically about how much current you put into them.
Talk about a drill. I mean, hello.
Yeah, I want to give you some other examples of electromagnetics. You ever seen like a scrap yard? There's giant cranes.
Oh yeah.
That is an it's an electromagnet. They're lifting fucking cars with those things. Okay,
that's strong. That's strong.
Okay. The monorail at Disney World.
I've never been, but okay.
It moves
with electromagnetics.
Yeah.
Is that bullet trains in general?
Yeah. all trains like that. They use electromagnets to basically push opposite forces at themselves and propel themselves forward. So you can move trains with it. You can literally lift cars with it. I would not worry about it holding Joy-Cons on the side of a Switch. I think we're going to be just fine. That's all I got.
I had a joke, and I feel like I shouldn't say it, so I'm not going to say it.
Brave little toaster. That's right. Oh my God. I was almost going to make that reference. I didn't want to seem super old, even though.
I mean, I don't remember the show, but I do. Is that Brave Little Toaster is like?
It's not a show. It's a movie.
Okay. Tell me. Because I remember this on the tip of my tongue.
It's a movie about a toaster.
Was it about the toaster? Okay. I wasn't sure if they had like other kitchen friends.
His owner's moving. They get knocked. I don't remember
left
exactly
behind.
What
Doesn't the toaster get left behind? And like
something happens. They fall out of a car with a vacuum and a blanket and a lamp, and they go on a big adventure. But they do end up in a place like that, and they almost get smashed because.
Why are we talking about Brave Little Toaster? How does this?
Electromagnetics, Jeeb. That's why.
Okay.
God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm.
Stay calm, guys. Next feature. We actually already talked about the ZL and ZR. Oh no, we didn't. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
The next feature.
Well, kind of, but
no. The next feature is there's going to be a third. According to Mobapad, if you're keep track here, Mobapad has said there's going to be a third button next to ZL and ZR. So, and it sounds like it's going to be on the sides. So, hold on, let me grab something real quick.
Okay, well, while he's grabbing that, I can actually say this won't be the first thing. This will not be the first thing that has something on the side like that. I know I've seen
there's
some
accessories
controllers
right now. Mm-hmm.
Some controllers have some extra stuff. These have it. The Binbox or the Duyoki,
right.
Whatever they're called.
So, Binbox implementation, our sponsor of last week's show, and a few others, they have a third button on the top of their controller. It's if you're watching, you can see there's the regular bumper right on top. There's the regular trigger right beneath it, just like normal. But to the innards, toward the inside of the controller for both sides, there's a third button that is just a third macro button. And sounds like it's not too dissimilar. Now, we don't know. We'll find out if it's real, number one. We'll find out when it happens. But number two, when they announce it, we'll see how they implement it. Who knows if it's going to be just a regular macro or if it's something different we don't know about.
Well, and it might not be up there.
Exactly.
Okay,
in this
wording,
it sounds like it's going to be on the sides, closer
okay,
to
and
where
there is something I did want to talk about. The new
bottom of your finger.
Right here, I got it. The new Nitro deck, which I actually just talked to them today. If anybody was wondering about that, they are sending me the new Nitro deck. Oh, you mean people in the comments. They are sending me the new Nitro deck. It has buttons on the side. They're right here. It has extra buttons on the side. And I thought that was super weird. I can't wait to get it here and like try them. But they're literally on the sides, like where your fingers would be like pushing on them with your knuckles or like the palm. I don't know. So that's weird. They could be there. I don't know why though. I still don't understand why those would even be a thing there. But that is interesting. More buttons.
So the next thing would be the home button would double as a function button. That seems
function
weird.
For what?
Yeah, exactly. And they put it, and obviously Mobapad is not a United States company. I'm not sure what, maybe Chinese, but I don't know.
They are in China.
So yes. The language is clearly translated. They did a good job, but you can definitely tell, especially if you're an English speaker fluently. But at the end of the sentence, there's an exclamation. I mean, like, listen, there's a few other, like, backwards compatibility. That deserves an exclamation. That's like, hurrah, huzzah. This is like, the home button has extra functions. Huzzah! Like that, I don't know, Mobapad. Yeah. That's a little too far. But interesting to talk about quickly. What do you think that they mean by the home button on the right Joy-Con? It has additional function. Here's what I think quickly, Drip. The Steam Deck, if you press the right button, which there's the left button on the Steam Deck, which is the home button, essentially. It's like a menu that pulls up. It's basically the home button. The right button, there's a bunch. It is a dedicated function button. Like you can add more data to your screen to see what the specs are like, what's happening on the CPU temperatures, the GPU temperature, speed. You can change.
I don't think Nintendo's
other
going to go there.
Stuff like that. I don't know, but that's where my head leads to something along those lines.
Right, but I mean, come on. Then we're talking about Nintendo.
I
They're not
know.
going to do that.
Well,
but
they
something
say it.
else.
They've said
maybe
it.
something to.
They've said it, and if they're right, there's something to it. So what is it?
But this is something we've been really complaining about with the Switch for a long time, and that's the UI. It's way too plain, way too simple. So maybe this is something where you can actually pull up maybe a function like in game, and it brings up a menu up from the bottom in game, so you can like go. You know what I mean? You don't have to like, let me back out and go home. Like you can just hold it in, and it'll pop up a new menu, and you can go through that menu. Like PlayStation and Xbox both have. Well, you can just suspend games in the background. You don't have to shut the game down to start a new one.
Right.
This could be a way to implement something like that. And I feel like with the new power and the stuff that they're going to have, they could probably do that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily going to be a full-on suspend and play a different game necessarily. Maybe it will, but
maybe something
along those lines.
Idea, yeah.
Absolutely. That's actually the most likely thing I think is hot swapping games, if you will. You know what I mean? Like just quickly go.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get fucking Netflix.
What?
maybe they'll actually put Netflix. I don't know. Disney Plus.
Hey.
No. That's wild.
Oh wait, no, we don't get Disney Plus. No,
we're not. That's crazy. That's absolute insanity.
No.
That's not happening.
I say boo to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
me
too. But it's not going to happen. Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah. I was playing other sounds too. It just went with the flow. You ruined it.
Sorry.
You blew it. So, okay, let's let's look on here. Next thing on the list here. My paraphrasing. Hopefully, I didn't get things wrong. Still USB-C for docking, so that's predictable. Of course, it's going to be USB-C still. USB-C, all the things, please. They say the dock will undergo minor changes in appearances. Of course, it will. Something will be different about it, while enhancing performance and supporting 4K. What?
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm, Drip. Stay the fuck calm.
4K.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
So pause. Don't talk about that for a second. We've just gone through a list of things here that, especially for an accessories company, makes a lot of sense why they would know this stuff. They're making accessories to the next thing. So the stuff is ready for when the acoustic comes out.
I know where you're going.
It makes a lot of sense why they have all this information, why they know it. This one is like a nuclear bomb. Like what do you mean? How do you know? How are you confirming this right now? As if that's not a huge deal, and that seems like something they should know. I'm just making a control. You don't need to know that it supports 4K. Why do you need to know that? So I'm not discrediting them.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why.
I'm not discrediting them. I'm asking the question: how would they know this? And if they do know it, why are they sharing it? The other stuff makes more sense. It pertains to accessories. This doesn't.
Or does it? Now, if they have something that they're building, that they're making, that's plugging into that USB-C, and they want their thing to be able to maybe they're making something too, and they're like, okay, this can do this. You need to know that this has the capability. Like we've seen in the what the fuck? What's the name of that grip? I hate that I can't remember. They were sponsored.
Oh
by
my
our
goodness!
podcast.
I keep saying Nexigo. I was saying the wrong name for a while. Nexigo.
That has a dock built into it. So that would be why they would need to know that. So it would function the same as the dock that they have. So that is actual information that they may need to know.
But Drip, Mobapad doesn't make that. So unless
but they might be,
unless they were talking to a company like Nexigo or some other company who did know that, because maybe Drip, what could be happening is Mobapad had all the breadcrumbs because they're friends with Nexigo, for example, or different accessory companies.
I don't know.
Maybe they all together, they put together their brains and were like, oh, what do you see in this? Oh,
well, probably not.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, they probably all get the same spec sheet, and they signed an NDA and said Nintendo was like, don't fucking tell anybody.
Well, okay, there's the key. There's the key, though. If that's true, and they signed the NDA, why in the flying crap
we're not there yet. We're going to get there.
But we are
going to get there. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah, and I want
I don't
to
have an answer
address.
to
I want to address because Power Mad did say in the chat here, Jeep, didn't you say last year wouldn't be 4K? I did say that, and I would love to be wrong. I always say that when I say something that I would love to be wrong to. I would love to be wrong about the 4K thing.
Dude.
I don't. Now,
At this point, if it's not for, I mean,
I didn't. Now, what I
upscaled.
unless you find me a clip where I say I'm contradicting myself explicitly, but what I do believe I said, and I would never say anything else that I think, was that it would not support 4K in handheld. No way in hell you're playing handheld 4K. Now in docked mode, I think what I said was the device itself couldn't do it, but with a dock, with extra tech in the dock, or even still, they could build that tech into the Switch itself. But either way, it's not true 4K. There's no true 4K happening.
No, this is upscaling, and everything that's happening with the Switch, from everything we've heard, is all probably going to be based on upscaling.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even
it's
next thing, the next thing on the list,
no way it's native 4K.
Yeah, the next thing on the list is it's going to have an upgraded 8-inch screen that will be a 1080p resolution screen. And I can guarantee you...
Yeah, it's a second to next thing, but yes.
Okay, I thought we were there already. But anyway, yeah, it's a 1080p screen. So yeah, obviously, we got the 720 screen. I don't think they're going to do 1080 and 1080. That doesn't make any sense, especially where we're at now. Like, if it doesn't do 4K, at least upscaled 4K in the dock, at this point in 2024, I mean, come on, man. Come on. I don't care if it's upscaled. I don't care.
I don't
it's
care
fine.
either. I think that'd be great. I just want 1080p 60. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I want it to support 4K, not only for games to support 4K, the ones that can utilize it, but also I want Netflix and Disney Plus and all that good stuff, and I want to watch it in 4K, Dolby, everything. I want all this stuff. And that's only possible if they give this thing 4K support. It's going to have 4K support. Even if it's just for the movies and the TV shows, it's still going to support 4K out. But there's no doubt in my mind that there's going to be there's going to be upscaling. And who knows? Maybe I almost accidentally said it. Maybe it's true. Maybe in some way there's going to be AI upscaling as well. Who knows? Maybe they're going to be utilizing as many techs as they can.
They're doing it with the Switch now. I mean, not as much. It's more background stuff, but it's happening. That FSR stuff that they're using right now, they did it with Switch Sports. It's in Tears of the Kingdom too, isn't it? It's in a bunch of games.
Yeah,
I may be wrong on Tears of the Kingdom, but I know it's in Switch Sports.
You're absolutely
for sure.
right about. You're absolutely right about Tears of the Kingdom, because Tears of the Kingdom is using the same. So actually, fun fact, real fast, if you didn't know this, we have discussed this before, but you might be new or might have missed the episode. Tears of the Kingdom actually, from its like zeros and ones, is a lot different than Breath of the Wild. They're basically different games. They rebuilt Tears of the Kingdom on the engine that ran Switch Sports and Splatoon. That engine was not the same engine that ran Breath of the Wild.
And they're using that FSR shit
in that engine that runs Splatoon and Switch Sports has that tech built into it. So it's actually kind of weird to think about, but they're actually very different games in that way. It was built from a different engine altogether.
Either way, they're already doing it. I mean, the AI stuff's happening. I mean, all the upscaling with the AI.
Yes. So I'm sorry, Drip. All that to say is that while you're playing Tears of the Kingdom, there is parts of the game that are lowering the resolution and upping the resolution based off of what's happening on the screen. It's built into the game. So yes, we're doing that already.
Well, I mean,
but not to the extent of what this thing could do.
This is going to do all kinds. This is literally going to upscale the game for you. It's going to be able to run better because it's going to start at a smaller place and be able to be upscaled to this. Therefore, run better because it's not actually this. It's this.
Right.
Okay. And then I missed the one.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's run it back. I'm going to talk about 80 screen for a second.
Okay.
But before we do that, I want to run it back because you missed the one. The new dock will feature a dampening bracket on the back, allowing for greater range of adjustable angles. What does that mean, Drip?
I have no fucking idea. The dock. When I heard that, I was like, oh, they mean like the kickstand. No, not on the system. It's on the dock. I mean, does that mean like so you can like lean the dock forward or like so you can slide it in like a VCR? I don't understand. I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to think what that could mean. Reading it over and over again, it's not
for
really...
greater range of adjustable. Like, why the fuck does the dock need to be adjusted in the angle? It just needs to sit there.
One thing
I don't think I've ever come in like to a situation where I was like, damn, I wish my dock just had a little bit more of an angle on it. Well, have you? Because
I can actually give you, because Drip, you're not thinking about other people and how they play their Switch. You play your Switch either at a desk or, I know at your house, your entertainment systems, they're just, your one's a fireplace. You just chop it. You have your dock on top of a mantle of a fireplace. And on the other place you have your dock, it's just sitting on top of this like entertainment system that is just like basically a closet for electronics, right? A lot of people's entertainment systems, like my parents' entertainment system, doesn't have that luxury because their entertainment system has 2 slotted holes that are very small and rectangular, made for cable boxes back in the day. Remember those things? It's made for a cable box to go back in there. But for a Switch, what you have to do is take the dock and turn it on its back. So you slot the Switch in horizontally instead of vertically. And this would make it so you could have your Switch makes that easier. Right? That does make sense to me, where it's kind of like the kickstand of the Switch. Think about the kickstand of the Switch. There'd be a similar system on the dock as far as like making the angles different, moving up and down. So if your entertainment system
I guess
is weird,
if it's leaning out towards you and you can just slide it right down in, that would be nice.
Yeah. So
but if it went full sideways too, it would need some type of, probably a locking system.
I think it's all a bit overkill. But who knows? If it's real and they do it, it's not like crazy. I think that actually might be a really cool feature.
No, it's just a nice
little,
little
make some people happy who have that struggle.
Quality of life feature.
Exactly. So, anyway, let's go back forward a little bit.
Hey, and I do want to say something real quick. I do have a little extra something that I just got in a message when we do our sponsor thing. So don't let me forget about that.
Okay, good. Let's talk about 8-inch display. Now, Drip, I've been on the record saying we do not need any increase in size of the Switch OLED screen. I think they have perfected the size. I think that would be kind of bad to make it bigger. However, if the device has more power and the chassis has to be bigger and they want little to no bezel, they would have to raise the screen up. So
what's the one on the OLED? How big is it?
I don't care how big the screen is. I will say that unless it's like Legion Go size, that's going way too far. But if the screen is 8 inches, that's a lot of an increase. That's a huge increase from 7.2, wherever the OLED is.
Okay, is that? I was going to say, what is it?
It's somewhere in that. I know the original,
so about 7 inches.
The original Switch was 5.
Holy crap!
Well, sorry, the original Switch was 6.5.
A full inch.
Yeah, that'd be massive. It'd be massive.
Big, dude. Like that is big.
It's the Steam Deck is not 8. The Steam Deck is 7.5, I think. At least the original Steam Deck. The new Steam Deck, I think, might be. I don't know. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about, I think no matter what the screen size is, I think what they need to do is make little to no bezels. That would make the biggest difference. I think it was Arlo who posted a video recently and I watched. That's the key, man. Or was it? I think it's actually no. It was Beat 'em Ups posted this video. Either way,
I saw he posted something about his like dream Switch.
I think that's what it was. Either way, both of those guys are great. You should watch both of those guys' content. But either way, little to no bezels. That's what we need. Like for phones. My phone's a little bit old at this point, but yours, your iPhone, you can show the people. Like obviously there is less bezel or no bezel on some of these new iPhones. That's what we need to strive for. Lower the bezels. So that way the screen is who cares how big? Just don't make anything ridiculously big, please. That's all I'm asking for. I don't want something ridiculously big. Steam Deck size would be okay, but no bigger than that. I mean, please, Lord, no bigger than that.
I mean, if it's got an 8-inch screen, this thing's gonna be quite a bit bigger. Quite a bit bigger.
Size matters. Drip size matters. Okay.
Okay.
It matters.
Fine. Whatever, man. Whatever you say. It's fine. Fine.
Yeah.
So, Drip.
Oh no!
I think it's time in the episode where we've already read 5-star review. So if you guys want to leave us a 5-star review, don't forget there is a giveaway happening. We're giving away $50 eShop gift card to a random entry Apple podcast review. So leave a 5-star review there. Get entered to win a 50 shop eShop gift card. I was telling
50 shop eShop gift card.
Dude, I was telling Abby, like, dude, like it's so hard for me to talk right now with all the nasal stuff happening. It's so hard for me to talk.
You're doing great,
and it's already hard.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, but it was beautiful.
It's already,
wonderful.
As you guys know, it's already hard for me to talk in general. So this is making it worse.
You did great.
But now it's my job to tell you some certain things, Drip. To sponsor today's episode, The sponsor of today's episode is Fixture Gaming, Drip, and the Fixture S2. Drip, I know that you and I have used a ton of Nintendo Switch accessories. There's nothing quite like the Fixture S2 in the market, though. The Fixture S2 mount connects the Nintendo Switch OLED tablet to the Pro Controller, making a comfortable and reliable alternative to Joy-Cons. If you're like me and find that the Joy-Cons are cramped and hurt your hands after a while, the Fixture S2 is exactly what you're looking for. First experience, I can tell you, it's wonderful. Drip, I know you've had the Fixture S2 for a little while now. You actually made a video on the Fixture S1.
I did. That was years and years ago, before we even had the OLED. Fixture S1 was for the original, which you can still actually get. You can get that one, you get the Fixture S2, but now, not only can you get the Fixture S2 for the OLED, but you can get it, and it will accept the 8-bit Do Ultimate controller, which is amazing. That's one of the best controllers on the market. Very popular controller. Lots of people have it. So if you want to use the Fixture S2, you can do it with that now. And there's another thing that I did want to actually just touch on quickly, which I think is a great idea, because my daughter was using this today. She loves it. She got home from school today, and I had this just hooked up to her Switch. She loves it. But I don't have the Ultimate. I have the Ultimate C hooked up, which is a cheaper alternative. This is a $30 controller.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you don't have a Pro controller because they're expensive, now you have an option to use this thing with a controller that costs $30, and it's from 8-bit Do. You know you're getting the quality. This thing's quality. You're going to have a great setup. Just got this information because we wondered if there was going to be a discount. And guess what? There is a discount. There's a $10 discount.
In addition?
At FixtureGaming.com.
In addition?
A $10 discount with code DRIPMEDIA. All caps, code DRIPMEDIA. $10 off at FixtureGaming.com.
There you go. There's also a flash sale going on right now. If you go to their website, I don't know if you can stack that stuff, but there's a flash sale right now. You get up to $25 off your order, depending on all the information there. So make sure to check out the links down below in the description to FixtureGaming.com.
You did great.
But
you did fantastic.
But thank you, Fixture, for sponsoring today's episode. Yeah,
definitely.
Man. We'll just give him a couple more seconds because I feel like I flubbed the end. But yeah, it's an awesome product, dude. It's an awesome product. I truly.
The first one was great. This one's just as it's awesome.
I truly have been asking. You had an extra one that you were going to send me, but never did, and I think I forgot to grab it when I was there last time or whatever the case was. But I've been wanting one of these things for a long time now, and I actually have the full. As you can see here, if you're watching, I have the full case, a bundle with the controller that they come with. They actually have a bundle that gives you the controller and the case and the grip all in one. I think it's a wonderful bundle. And dude, it's especially like bedtime gaming. Let me tell you something. Bedtime gaming, like playing this thing in bed with this controller, it is like wonderful. I had a lovely time.
And when you find that perfect, when you find the perfect balance right over the controller, and it's just like, it just sits there. It's not weird. It's not awkward. It's not leaning anyway. It's nice.
Not to mention the screen's in your face, which makes the screen bigger by default because it's closer to your face. It's
good stuff.
It's really good. But what also, Drip, is really good is these leaks. These leaks from Mobapad that make us salivate and happy the fact that they did it. Why? Why did they do this?
I don't know. That's the question. We've got to dive into that. Why the fuck would they do that?
What were they thinking? What are they thinking currently?
On what planet is this okay?
No planet. This is, if it's true, it's ridiculous. Like, unbelievable that they would do this.
I can't wrap my head around, because like I said earlier, this is kind of where I wanted to go on this conversation. Why would they do this? Why? The reasons that come to your head, and we'll kind of go off of those. The first one is, let's just put a bunch of crap on our website so people will come to our website and we can get people to see our products.
Right.
And I do also want to say I talk to people from Mobapad through email because I review their products. They let me know when they're sending stuff. We talk back and forth. I did reach out to them. And ask them about this stuff. I ddid not get a response though. I wish that I did. They may still respond. Who knows? Maybe they'll respond tonight, and we'll make a whole nother podcast about.
You actually made me really excited when you had said that you got an email that you wanted to share with our show. I thought you were about to say you got an email from Mobapad. I was like, no shit. But either way, Fixture.
Hey, hold on. Let me check. I'll keep checking. Okay, so that would be one thing. Like, you know, whatever. We're going to put this up here. We're going to just say this thing because we want people to come to our website. But it just seems like a lot of stuff to make up for that reason. Is that, how do you feel about just that part of this? Like, is that something you think that they would do? Before
I tell you, I want to quickly tell you that thanks to Priscilla, we now know in the chat that the discount code does indeed stack. So whatever discount that they have on Fixture's website, you get $10 on top of that. So thank you, Fixture. Use code DRIPMEDIA for that. And
that's a hell of a deal.
That is a great deal. I love this thing. What were you saying, Drip?
Do you think they would just put this on their website just to be like, we're going to get people to our website so they'll see our products, buy them for the Switch? Everybody wants this information right now. And everything in this, that's the thing about it. Everything in this is every single thing that we want. All of it. None of this has bad news.
No. Like,
none of it.
Have we read one thing about a dumb IR camera or some, you post to Facebook with your AR, emojis?
All, this is all great stuff.
Like what is the dumb? We have not got one weird gimmicky feature in this whole thing. It's all legit. Now the magnets could be a little gimmicky because I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it with the rails.
No, but it is broke. It is broke. Because you know as well as I do that Joy-Con wiggle. Everybody has that shit. And let me tell you something. If you're using those electromagnets and they just pop into those two little holes like I think it's going to be, that shit ain't going anywhere. It's going to be solid.
Here's the thing, though. I don't care. And I never have cared.
Drives me fucking crazy. I know a lot of people feel the same way.
I'm a guy.
Trust me. Look at my comment section. People care about if they wiggle.
I don't care. To be clear, I don't care that you care. It's not like I actively don't want it because you want it, right? The change. What I don't care for is removing that feature because I love the click. The tactile. Now the magnets might have something new and different feel that would be satisfying, but there's something so satisfying about taking a Joy-Con, especially a fresh one, and just driving it down that rail for the first time. The click that happens is fantastic. And with the magnets, you're still going to get that branding. It's still going to click. So there's no need to change any of that. It's all going to work perfectly fine. I don't know.
It comes out of the speakers too. I mean,
yeah, I'm not saying that the magnets are going to be a bad change. I'm just saying I don't think it's broken. I know you do, but I don't think it's broken. I think it's fine. The wiggles, my wiggle has never been bad enough where I'm like, man, this is distracting. I know it is for you, and I'm not a guy who's going to tell somebody else to don't worry about it because I know there's certain things that bother me about stuff. For example, certain controllers that have like edges that you can feel drive me insane. Like this Pro controller I have, for the most part, don't feel it, but some of the third-party stuff, you're holding the sides. There's like the sides are not perfect precision
it's
machining,
not lined up right.
And
I know what you mean.
That drives me insane. And again, well, the point is everybody has their weird quirks and everything. So if this is a positive change, it's good. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's a huge positive change. I really love that the most. But that's not even what we're talking about. We're sidetracked. Why would they do this? Do you honestly think that this is just them just lying to get people to their site, or do they have this information?
Yeah.
And if so, what on God's green earth made them decide to? Because clearly there's an NDA. Like there's no way they're getting this information without signing an NDA. Another thing that I'm very
that would be such an oversight from Nintendo. That'd be what a mistake that would be. But that's the thing, man. Maybe Mobapad got their information from somebody else that is trustworthy because they are accessory maker. Maybe they were talking. I'm not saying it was. We'll just say the company X. Okay, Company X is making accessories. They signed their NDA, but of course, a janitor's brother's sister who works at this Company X told somebody in Mobapad all of this stuff and showed them the stuff. That Moped didn't sign that NDA, so why not release it?
Somebody who signed the NDA told those people who
broke the NDA. It's possible that they broke the NDA, but who's going to find out? Nobody. So who knows? But here's the thing, Drip. Also, could be complete and utter bullshit, and this whole thing is made up entirely. And Why? Before I'll let you go. Two things here. Why would they lie, and why wouldn't they lie? Why would they lie? Because actually, let's start with why wouldn't they lie? They have nothing to lose, man. They're not officially licensed. They can get the dimensions from somewhere else. They don't need to. They don't need to get it from Nintendo necessarily.
That's where you and I disagree. But go ahead.
What do you mean? No. I'm not saying this is what I think. I'm saying this is the argument in left shoulder, argument in right shoulder. I'm setting up that. So why wouldn't they lie? They have nothing to lose. I mean, as far as they're concerned, they can still make accessories of the Switch. They don't need Nintendo. They're already not licensed, so who cares, really?
Right.
But again, we'll get to more on that in a second. Why would they lie? Why wouldn't they? I'm sorry, this is now confusing myself. Why would they lie? And why would that be bad? They're going to hurt their customers. The customers, the loyalty with the customers, the trust with the customer. It's like you're now.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you? I mean, it's not your product.
That's my biggest thing on this entire thing is like, if you're really doing this, which I honestly don't think they're making this up, because if they are, that's fucking insane. It's so stupid. Because I'm not gonna, like, God, really? You just made all this shit up and put it on your website for whatever fucking reason? Like, no, right. I don't really want to fuck with you after that.
Well,
when we find out that it's all bullshit.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot, Drip, because you are a person that works with this company. Would you support them going forward if this is all bullshit?
It'd be pretty hard to. Honestly, it'd be pretty hard to. I don't know if I'd want to work with them anymore.
I agree. And as somebody who myself works with companies, I also work with companies.
Blatantly lying to not only me, everybody else, for what? I don't know. But no, honestly, if we find out that this isn't true, you're right. I never really thought about it like that, but you're right. If this isn't true, no, I probably will not be working with them anymore.
Yeah.
I agree. This is insane for a company. First of all, it's fucking crazy that they put it out. But if it's true, I respect the balls. So I'm with it. I'll ride with you. It's fine.
But if this is true, no, trust me, dude. We need them as
I respect it.
We're not going to be Nintendo ambassadors. We need to get these guys as a sponsor.
We need Mobapad.
We need to wear Mobapad T-shirts for all I care. I'd be like, dude, yo, hell yeah, these motherfuckers did it.
Crazy.
They did it.
Nuts.
What the balls on that?
Hey, Nintendo, fuck you. We're putting it all out.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
Okay. If it's a lie, they're going to lose a lot of customer loyalty, I'm sure, because I mean that's just a terrible look, man. It's so bad. And in the short term, it's like, yeah, cool. Everybody's looking at our website, probably selling a lot of Joy-Cons. Their Joy-Cons are great. They're really good. I have a set right there. Very good. It's not going to be good in the long run if this is fake at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like on one hand, you have the publicity this gets, and it's so good short term, and who knows, maybe they're going to go bankrupt before the Switch 2 anyway, so they're just got balls in the wall right now, make what they can. But on the other side, it's like, dude, like if you plan on doing business in the future, especially like brand loyalty, getting your customers to trust you, getting the creators to trust you, who want to, there are creators out there who don't have the same level of morality that Drip or I do, that will just do anything and take any sponsorship. And for Mopad, if they're lying, that they're relying on that. But for the ones who have loyalty or for who have morals is what I meant to say. No way, man. Like you can't be doing that.
Tough sell, man.
You're just trying to get clout. Like, listen, fuck that.
So that's weird. It's weird.
Fuck that.
It's just weird. It's just and it's not even like, and that's why we're covering it tonight.
Exactly. We said the name 100 times now.
It's not like it's some asshole on Twitter claiming to be a leaker.
Right.
You know, I'm a leaker. We all know that, though. Well, you're a leaker too now. Forgot about that.
Yeah,
we're all leakers.
Yeah, Warriors, the imprisoning war.
Yeah,
coming out soon.
We leak stuff. Whatever. We don't need to get into that. But it's not some random asshole on Twitter. This is a company. Like, this is a company who makes accessories for the Switch. And I know they're not like the oldest company. I watched an RGT video, and he kind of he shit all over him because he's like, well, these people. Oh, and my thumbnail's actually in his video when he's scrolling through Google. I saw it. I was like, hey, there's me.
Look at you.
Hey,
you feel real big, don't you?
That's more people that have seen my face than any of my other videos, probably. So I'm happy about that. Anyway, point is, he was shitting all over because he's, oh, well, you can find him on AliExpress. Like,
He did say that. And listen, dude,
that's weird. Like, why would you? Like, you can find a lot of shit there, a lot, and it doesn't mean it's not like legit.
But hold on, can somebody look into this for me? Has RGT taken a Temu sponsorship? Which, by the way, this podcast will never be sponsored by Temu. I don't think so. I'm not going to go.
Way. And I'm not hating on him. Listen, I'm not hating on him. Whatever. I don't care. You're not going to let me yell about Temu for a second? No, we're not. We're not even going there. Because no, you're right. We're not. But it doesn't matter. He's not somebody who reviews these things because like when he kind of went to the website, he's like, well, they got a controller that nobody likes. As he saw like the reviews, and it was like, it was like 3.5, 4 star. I don't know. I have the controller. It's a very good controller. He's like, a Joy-Cons that are like whatever. And I'm like, dude, these are like the best third-party Joy-Cons you can get right now. You clearly don't know what you're talking about in this situation, which is fine. It's all good. But I mean, he was shitting on him about like, it's clearly this company's just trying to get clout because they're nobody. But I'm like, these guys are making good stuff, quality stuff. They are on the up and up. Like, why? I don't know. I just don't understand why they would put themselves in this situation and lie about it. So I really honestly at this point, I don't think they're lying. I think this is true.
It's one of these things where we did go over why they would lie, why they wouldn't, but in my mind, it doesn't make sense to lie about this. And the information, and what is important to note here, this information, they could have gone crazy off the walls like these Twitter leakers, and they didn't. All this stuff makes complete sense,
and it makes complete sense for somebody who's making accessories for the Switch to
that know. Is with the exception of the performance thing, although you did explain, which makes sense to me, but I still...
The 4K thing, just so you have the right outputs and stuff. That's fair.
I'm not riding that ship with you quite yet, but I do understand.
Fine. I don't care.
But
dude, I am a fucking expert on electromagnetics, okay? You should just follow my lead, okay? And I'm a Nintendo leaker.
Yeah, well, come on, man. We got it all for us going tonight.
I know. I do it all. It's fine.
2 last points. We're going a little long tonight, but that's okay. Two last things here. I want to talk about Switch Attach again because, and this was from Beat 'em Ups. He kind of put this back in my mind because spoilers at the end of his video. You should watch it especially because I'm spoiling it. But at the end of his video, he does kind of go over the
started it, but
he does think that at the end of it that they're going to call the Switch Attach. It makes a lot of sense, and not because he said it, but I've been thinking about this for a while. Not that I think the Attach is the name. I do not think the next Switch's name will be the Switch Attach. Don't twist my words here. What I do think, however, and this is my idea, Drip, there will or might be an accessory with this Switch that could be called the Attach. That maybe it's a VR thing like we had talked about a few weeks ago. I think that's very likely. Or it's
I think the VR stuff with this Switch I think it's almost guaranteed, man. I think it's happening, but
yeah. What do you think about my idea there? Like, I don't think the names. No, I think the thing's either Switch 2 or Super Switch. Either one. There's both are good names. One is better than the other. Super Switch. But I'll take Switch 2 because it makes sense and it's the easiest name to go with. That doesn't confuse anybody. There's no way to attach. You're getting back into territory of confusing people. Because what does it mean? Are you attaching to the next Switch? Are you not attaching to the next? What does this mean? Is it an accessory? But maybe there is an accessory that works maybe on both systems. Who knows? But it makes more sense that it's an accessory attachment.
It does. Okay. It makes more sense in that. Yeah, I can see that. But I also think that even just the name Switch Attach at that point still makes sense just because of the magnetic Joy-Con thing. And I mean, it makes a little more sense now. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares? That name, I think that was another one of those just let's throw some shit at the wall. I don't think it's real at all. I don't think it's real at all. It makes more sense now, I think, maybe a little bit. But I don't know.
Well, let's talk about the last thing, Drip. Let's talk about the last thing.
Yeah, I asked you this earlier, and I want your answer on this now. So we did kind of go over this a little bit earlier when we talked about this list and everything on it. It's all perfect. It's all basically what we want. There's not one thing on here. As long as we get more power, better performance on top of this stuff, that's all I want.
Technically, we did get that in this leak because it says enhanced performance with 4K.
4K. So, I mean, we've got it all.
We got it all.
I don't really care about anything else. This is what I want. So, here's where my head goes. And this is I want your take on this, and anybody else in the chat if you want to put your 2 cents in on this too, because I want some.
In the after show, we're gonna go deep dive in your comments. So
yeah, we've seen Nintendo over the years. Every new console, it's something wild. It's something off the wall. It's something crazy. A brand new controller, a brand new idea, motion control. You know, the Wii was wild. The controller for the 64 was nuts. The GameCube did this. The Wii U had a screen on the controller. They always are doing new things, innovating, always trying new things, new ways to play, I believe is what they like to say. This is not that. This is basically just giving us what we want. Just saying, here's a better Switch. It's got a couple little extra things, but here's just a better Switch. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just doing it the way you want it. So my question is this the only thing that we're going to be getting from Nintendo in the next 3 to 5 years? Is there going to be something else that's going to be the weird, off-the-wall, wacky thing, the new way to play?
Here's where my head goes. And it kind of goes back to my theory. Not my screen theory. The Wii U style Switch 2.
Still love that.
Not
Still
that
love
theory.
that.
Still possible. Not that theory.
Very possible.
Not that theory. This is a new theory that I've derived. What I just told you about, the Switch Attach, right? Being not the name of the device, but the accessory that makes this Switch very Nintendo-like. Because, like we've gone through all these spec sheets here from Mobapad, all this stuff is very cut and dry. Like, this is what we want. Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Where's the weird stuff? Here's the weird stuff. And one more thing Nintendo will do, pull an Apple on us.
It's the other thing. It's the new way to Switch that I keep talking about.
Because it's like, oh, here's the next Switch. It's got more power. The Joy-Cons are electromagnetic Joy-Cons. That's fun. HD Rumble's better. The dock has adjustable movements now, so it fits it. All very weird and normal and expect things that we expect to see. Nintendo is going to be kind of 8-inch screen. It's a little bigger. It's 1080p now. But boring. That's not Nintendo style.
It's not.
They're going to go, we just told you all the boring stuff, although that's what you want. We gave it to you. Yay! Here's the next thing. One more thing. The Switch Attach. Whoa! And then everybody stands and screams and takes their shirts off and wiggles it around.
To say about this. That's it.
They say the Switch.
There's another thing.
There's another thing. The Switch. It's an extra accessory that you have to pay for.
I bet it's not. I bet it's not. I bet they just don't talk about it until the end, and then they're like, look at all the Switch stuff you like. And then also,
here's why, Drip. Here's why, Drip. The thing's going to be expensive. This new Switch is going to be expensive. The third party thing, not third party, I'm sorry. The accessory, the Switch Attach, which is going to be an accessory to go with this new console, that's going to be extra for the people who want that experience. But for the most part, and it's going to work with both systems. That's why it's extra. It's going to work with the old Switch. It's going to work with the new Switch. You buy it on the side. Nintendo knows that they in order to sell this next console, they don't need a crazy gimmick, but they'll offer a crazy gimmick if you want it.
Man,
it's
the way
not
you say it. Okay,
because it's like,
the way
dude,
you say it,
it's
I'm
VR.
Like,
Dude,
maybe.
You when you buy PS5, you don't buy PSVR because that'd be crazy expensive to sell you the PS5, which they probably already sell for a loss anyway. And to get this VR headset, no way. That'd be $900. That's crazy.
They do sell for
with the Switch. It's going to be $400 or $450 depending on your storage because they're going to offer new storage now. And on top of that, when I said new storage, I meant they're going to offer tiers of storage. There's going to be one model and two models like the modern. They're going to go modern, Drip. It's going to be a modern console with two storage types, and the Switch Attach is going to be an extra. Please call me Sir Jeeb from now on, Sir Jeeb the Fourth, the leaker, because I just told you everything. My sick brain has just laid it out for everybody.
We don't know. We don't know if that's true or not. I want to make that clear to everybody listening. Clearly, we don't know if that's true or not.
James on
I
lots
don't
of
hate that
Sudafed,
whatsoever, though.
Mucinex, and Tylenol. Thank you very much.
I don't
ladies and
hate
gentlemen.
that. Even if it is sold separately, honestly. And it kind of gets them away from that. You got to buy into the gimmick thing, but still offer the gimmick thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a new era of Nintendo. What the gimmick?
And it is. And we've talked about that. How many times have I fucking said that? We got new people in charge. We don't know how they're going to do this. We don't know how this is going to be rolled out.
I'm right. You know I'm right. I'm so
You
right.
might be. Listen. Okay, I don't know if you're exactly right, but your idea, plausible.
Hey, Cali Smoke, I'm not leaking. I'm dripping. That's what I'm doing. And that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. If you want to become a member, you can do that. We have a new members podcast coming out tomorrow. Make sure to do that. It's going to be embarrassing and awkward for Drip and I. It's going to be great for you watching, though. If you want to be awesome and support our sponsor, you can cough on that description and go ahead and click that link and get the product. You get the codes do stack. That's going to be great. There was something else.
The code is DRIPMEDIA.
Oh, $50 eShop giveaway. I'm on something, and that, like I said,
$50 eShop gift card giveaway.
eShop giveaway. Make sure to enter by leaving us a 5-star review. I think we already got 1 or 2 during this podcast, if I'm mistaken, from the chat from earlier. So thank you guys for that. But make sure to enter by leaving a 5-star review. You can say whatever you want. You can say that Jeeb was on something real good that I wanted to have next week. You can say that in the Apple podcast. Yeah, I need to no longer be a podcast host. So we're gonna sign off for now.
You leave the review on Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, yes. 5-star review gets you entered. I don't have a way of seeing if you've written a review. I don't have a way of seeing if you only do 5 stars. You have to write something. That's the way I can see it. So don't just leave 5 stars and nothing written. You have to write something because then I can see it. So Power Mad, if you had to delete your review and do another one, I don't know how you're going to do it. You can just send a screenshot and then I can enter you that way, Power Mad. But either way, guys, thank you for listening to this episode. The Switch 2 is what I said it was. I'm right. And we'll see you next week.
Later.